Today is Saturday. It's May 5th, and I have before me curriculum. I I decided to go ahead and record an end of the year review on my curriculum that we used this year. Despite the fact that I'm packing, I have always in the vlogs kept you all in the loop as far as what's going on and showed you the kids working throughout these books. But I know not everybody may be regular viewer or subscriber, and therefore this may be helpful. I don't like to introduce the curriculum in the beginning of the year and then not follow up. So this is what I'm doing today. I'm going to try to keep it brief. A lot of these things I can, if you need more more detail, I can give you the video. Because I know a couple of them I've talked about individually already. Also, this is some of the things. If you did not see the curriculum video, I think it is in April. I will, the entire curriculum for everybody, including my high schooler. I will link that video so you can go back and watch. There was core and there were supplements. And what I'm going to say is pretty much the supplemental things was mainly for the first graders, like the Scholastic grammar books, the Evan Moore books, those things I am not going to purchase again. In fact, I'm not purchasing any more curriculum. I already made a video about that. But I am not purchasing those things. They have the foundation and they have what they need. I only needed those little supplements for a little bit to get them in understanding. So I'm not buying any more of those, even though they were, I found most of mine for $1. So both of the kids had one. It wasn't a big deal. It saved me from printing and going on Teachers Pay Teachers, which is what I usually do. But the core things are what I have here. Geography and history, I am not going to show you. We are still galloping the globe with galloping the globe and cantering the country. And I've done videos on them. A lot of that stuff goes in their interactive notebooks. It encompasses pretty much all of the subjects. But I am not going to really give a review because I've already done that and we're still using them. The reason why I picked those two curriculum were mainly because I could incorporate everybody into those two subjects and teach one lesson. I can teach it up from high schooler down for the little ones, and a lot of interactive, a lot of flags, a lot of mapping, a lot of geography, history, things like that. And it's not something that you do over a year. So we're still doing that. It's going to take us a couple of years. So those things are not on the table. But I'm looking at a battery flashing, so I might have to switch batteries. Excuse me. What I have here is spelling connections, and I love spelling connections. I've always loved it. My older ones use this. We always had extra copies, so when we did summer school at home, we had these, and they used them in their school. Xander Blozier. Now this is grade 1. I do have grade 2. I had it last year. After this video, I'm going to show you the things that I added in December to our curriculum that were not in that haul. I had those things. I just did not share them because they're the next grade level and I didn't want to confuse you all. And at the same time, I still have not purchased any new curriculum from when I made that video. So don't think that I said I'm not buying anymore and then I went on to buy more. I already had these. I think I still have, I also have third, fourth, and some fifth grade things. There's just no need to share them because that's not what we're using, but in due time. Anywho, spelling curriculum. And there is a lot of, grammar, handwriting, and things like that. When we started Spelling Connections, I'm just going to give you a little look, because I think I've already gone through this book before. We did not need the beginning of the book. Okay, phonemic awareness, the sounds and letters, they were beyond this. So I left the first, I think, 50 pages for the two little ones. Now what I've decided to do to keep from purchasing two more books, in which will have the front half of these books incomplete, I'm just going to go through and erase. They're lightly done and there's no point in repurchasing. And just the same as there was no point in me printing. This is a lot within a chapter to be printing off, but I just don't see it. I mean, if I really wanted to buy two more books, I could, but to me it's such a waste. So, but I needed it for the handwriting, so I did let them write in it. But that's what the front half of the book is, the sounds. So this is where they are, and we just have not started because we obviously are in the middle of the move. So we kind of stopped school this past month, and we could have been completely finished in this book. So here is a unit 2. So in here, what I like about Spelling Connections is, for one, I don't have to give my kids spelling tests. Okay, there are enough activities and practice in here. By the time they get to the last page in the unit, they know how to spell these words, and they're reading in their books, and the words are there in their books, so they've already remembered how to spell them. I never have to go through this because of the exercises in the books. So the first one is they get, write the spelling word that begins like apple, write the spelling words that have short A in the middle like bat. Then they have write the two words that have 2 sounds, write the words that have 3 sounds, and see, use your pencil to track the letters in ABC order. The first 2 are tracked for you, which they did not complete, but normally they do. So, and here you get write the correct word in each sentence. So a lot of grammar in here, which is why I love it. It's not just spelling, there's also handwriting. And for a minute I did panic because I said, oh my goodness, I don't have anything spelling and I'm not teaching them spelling. And it just dawned on me they are learning, because I could hear them say, just on a random day, not even doing schoolwork, they're writing something. How do you spell said? So I know that they are getting it. So that's what that looks like. And then they have some, the pretty much the activities are different in each lesson, but they're the same. They're repetitive. So the same the lessons A, B, C, D may not be in Unit 4, but they may be the same one as Unit 2. So wet, pet, they get rhyming there. Over here they're completing the sentence. The net has a hole in it. And I'm going to share with you the difference between Book 1 and Book 2. Okay. So, I mean, they did pretty good. Their writing is This is in the beginning. It's, you know, improving. Of course, Zaner Bloger style. Here they are writing the same sound. So, all of it. See that? And get some sentence down here. Here's complete the sentence, like a little poem. And then write about a summer day. So their introduction to writing. So bittersweet. Again, it's up to me. I can get the books, so I'm not completely against buying new books, but it would make more sense just to erase, like to not pollute the earth. One letter, one capital, one letter, a capital letter that sounds like its name. So, and we do these lessons just as, you know, easy as, it's only, I think, 3 pages or 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 per unit. And then there's a review every couple of units. So it's up to me if I think we need the review or not. Some of it we did orally, so there's no writing. And that's fine, but I like it for the handwriting, and because it's not a lot of writing. And so here what they're doing is decoding. F, fan. U for cup. N for sun. And they love these. So you get your blends here. And yeah, and so we were doing some other things in conjunction. So just because we're not completely finished, it's because we did a lot of other things. These are blends. And like I said, we could have actually been finished had I not stopped. I think I'm just going to, these are in my open box. I haven't closed it. I think I'm just going to bring them instead of putting them back in the box. There's not that much more left in here. Unit 16, I think there's 20. And then you get a glossary in the back, which I am big on because we're working on vocabulary. That's another thing. I don't give them too much. So if it takes us a couple of days to do a unit, that's fine. I'm not in a rush just because, okay, there's 34 units. We could have obviously been finished if we school year round, but we're not in a rush for this. And they know the words. It's more or less the handwriting and the grammar and the exercises that I'm after, not the spelling, which I will share with you another curriculum that we're using. And it just, we really slowed down on it. And here's a challenge unit. Write a sentence using hen and wet. Okay. So there is that. Now I'm going to share with you book 2. Like I said, I do have 2 of these. And this happens to be Texas edition. You can get non-Texas edition, obviously. But this is the grade 2 level. And so, big difference. Still get your nice little layout. There are 30 units in here, I believe. 33, 36. You get an assessment and review. Compound words. And then you get your dictionary and thesaurus back here. So nice. And there you go, high frequency words. Nice little Nice little pull out if you needed that, or copy it. Word sorting, spell check, taking a test, and they also had this in the other book. Now, this is chapter 1, unit 1, and so right away you see a difference between this book and the one I just showed you. Okay, the words were on the side, nice and big, and there was a lot more pictures. So, yeah. And we're excited to get in here. We've been so waiting because they're ready. It's just we had to stop. So the spelling words in the sentence, and then write the word that begins with the short A sound for number 1 and 2. Write the words that have the short A sound between the 2 consonants. So pretty much the same things, but the way that it's given to them is more of a big kid format. Rhyming words, underline words, dictionary. Dictionary, dictionary, dictionary. I cannot stress that enough. Do not put your kids on Google. Use a dictionary. So you get connections to reading, context clues, connections to writing, proofreading, a lot more. You know, if they're 6, they were 6 in November. If your child is not able to read this, my kids can read every word on these pages. Then obviously you would use book 1 or the kindergarten book. And the kindergarten book is basically the alphabet and sounds. Word study, pattern power, dictionary, passage about bats, so there's your science in here. Thinking, dictionary. So you see the pattern. Everything, every lesson pretty much has the same thing. Here's your social studies. So that's the reason why I like this curriculum, excuse me, because it just encompasses so much, not just spelling. Here's your math. It's a poetry. Okay. Just social studies, and it just so on and so on. In the same way that I share with you all throughout the vlogs, I will share them working through the book. I have nothing bad to say about the curriculum at all. It does what it needs to do. They are learning, they are thriving, and it's easy. It's nothing stressful. So, excuse me. I think I happened to pay probably $5 for mine, and that was pretty much the extent of I'm saying $5 per book. They can be up to $30, just depending on where you purchase them from. And the one thing I want to say about eBay, there's not a whole lot. They are expensive. These are the newer editions. This one is 2012, and I was specifically looking. So you have to be careful when if you are buying them off of eBay. Look for your editions. It's not that much difference in them, but these just look nicer. This one is 2012. There are also teacher editions available, but they're really not needed to use this. All right, next up is reading briefly. We use Scott Forsman. This is the last book I believe they completed, or maybe the next one. If I just look in the back, no, this is the next one. And what happened is I have here, let me show you. This is my 5-year-old. She just turned 5. She is also here. So level 1, a level 1, 2. So first grade, second month. That one's 5th. And we had the textbooks before I found all of the books. There are 6 books that go in any textbook curriculum that you find like this in a thrift store or Goodwill. Know that there are 6. There's always 6. You may only find one, but you can find the rest of them. I happened to find a seller that had the workbooks. So though we were farther in reading, grade-wise, in grade level, I wanted to use the practice books for all of the things that it offers. So we are still working through these, and that's just because I want them to correlate with what they're reading. And so this is, like I said, my kindergartner slash first grader. So she started this when she was 4. And you know, there's a lot of grammar and things. So in conjunction with the spelling, we get a lot. These chapters are a lot longer, which is why we don't do reading and spelling on the same day, because it can take us a week to finish one of these lessons. So you get the unit is based on 2 stories that you read in the book first, and then you get your test taking tips and your vocabulary and your comprehension. So you get your test all in one. Now, like I said, this is her book. She's still working on that. This is a new one. I put the old one away. I think I vlogged it. I haven't shared it. They put the workbook away, and they're all packed away. So I just left these out because they were in the bin in case we got to them, but I did not leave out the workbooks for whatever reason. And for these, I also have the teacher's manual, which is totally not needed, but it has benchmark tests and end of the unit tests in it. So yeah, that's what that is. And you know, they're pretty good on that. So I have nothing bad to say. The thing I like about these books is the readers. A lot of people like different readers, like Arthur, what is it, Frog and Toad. A lot of those things are in these books. The thought that goes into these books, the authors, the psychologists and things that really work on these textbooks really think they're very diverse, and that's what I like about them. So favorite, you know, their favorite authors of books that you may have. Some of the stories, the books we actually have. We love David McPhail. So in here you get songs, you get social studies, you get language. There's some, you know, hands-on, some crafts at the end of some of the units. There's poetry. We're satisfied. I don't have to buy a whole lot of readers because we can use these as readers as well. So it's just a diverse, like this. We have about 3 of these dinosaur books. Very diverse curriculum. So that is what I like about purchasing textbooks. Now these were before Common Core. We also have a new set that is Common Core, and I have the workbooks are thicker. I think it has 2 books in. I have 2 thick workbooks, so I think it's 2 or 3 books in each workbook. So that will be for later on. And the thing about these is, even though they're graded, you don't have to use them within grade level. It's just according to your child's ability. And like I said, I stepped it back because I wanted them to get this kind of thing down. Okay. And yeah, So she's almost done with her little book. But again, that's how you can tell the level. So there's one more, and then we'll be doing the next one. And the next set I did share. I found all 6 books, teacher's manuals, and the workbooks on eBay for $1. All I paid was half of the shipping. And that's somewhere in that vlog of the new curriculum. So I really hit the jackpot on that because it's going through all 4 of the little ones. Alright, bear with me about 10 minutes. Science Fusions, I shared. I love Science Fusions. I know I shared PDF with you all somewhere back in the Given Free curriculum. The Science Fusion. We don't have to teach science. My kids just love science. And I happened to find it for a deal, so I went ahead and got it. Because like I said, a lot of the supplements and the reading books and things like that, I got very cheaply. I was not coming out of pocket, you know, a lot. And I could afford to go ahead and get science. Think Central, internet linked. I can tell you, you can go on Rainbow Resource, $148. Like I said, it's $148. It is internet linked, so you can get the lessons online and things like that. There's, you know, the virtual part of it. My kids love it. It's nice and colorful. STEM based. We did not write in it. My 2 little ones are still going to kind of use this, so we're not done, and you may see another review on it, but I'm satisfied. It's not too much, it's not too little. And Children's Museum Indianapolis, so it's referencing places they learned. Okay, let's find Indiana. So like I was saying, there's senses and your vocabulary terms here. And what else is in here? So, and it's what I like about it, the book the kids like. The fact that there are kids just throughout all the pictures. And so very, very gentle. And then along with our science, I use Teach at Daycare's curriculum. She has a science, an actual science curriculum. The PDF, I shared that video in September. It's purchased for my then 2-year-old, but a lot of her things for everyone I'm able to use. So I take advantage. Same thing with the spelling. She has spelling. I know, off topic, but it's a supplement, and a good supplement, actually a compliment. But we did, the first graders did a lot of her spelling activities, and we stopped with spelling connections for just briefly because they like to do that. So yeah. But you get your little experiment here, and we do have a balance now. All sorts of stuff. Tool. And then here, this is just a do the math. And then you get a brain check. Sum it up. Nothing too, you know, nothing too hard. Apply the concepts. Take it home. Record your data. So like I said, we did not write in the book. A lot of things we wrote down on the whiteboard or on paper. Lesson vocabulary. And if you are doing the digital, you will get the vocabulary words. Excuse me, and things. And here's your essential question. So let's skip ahead a little bit. But true life pictures, cartoon pictures, children's pictures. This was on engineering, and they actually made a back scratcher just the same as the little boy. And I'm pretty sure we vlogged this. But that was fun. So again, I am going to, like I said, I'm still going to use this book with my two little ones somewhat because they're so young. We can go through this again and pull some things out of it just as a refresher. Your STEM, your concepts, anything from nature that people can use is a vocabulary review, brain check. So there's not a lot of writing involved. There's not a whole lot of hands-on, but we do other things with science. So this is perfect. It's just the pictures. The book is very well laid out and thought out, and it's just enough information. It's not overwhelming. This one is about salt. So you get your little review right there. Old cell phones. And then the Wright brothers planes, which are always fun. And then your interactive glossary. You can draw, and it tells you the page. Most grown amphibians live on land, so you can go back and reference the page, and then you write in your own words or draw what you remember to help you about the terms. Like I said, very nice, very, very nice. And the back of it, and then to go along with that, and I'm going to speed it up. There are 2 more books, and I know I've packed them away, 2 or 3, but I shared them in the haul. Here's my planning guide, and just basic planning guide. So it just tells you how to go about the lessons and things like that. So get your levels of inquiry. Response to intervention. So, and the thing I like about it is, like I said, you can talk it up, talk it down, and they still are able to understand. So this is a perfect, if you're not familiar with fusions, grade 1 is just the perfect introduction. Active reading, project-based learning, and so that's just what that is. And then you, I know I have test taking, what do you call it, the assessment book, and something else. Like I said, you have to look at the initial video. It was actually on a different shelf, so it's been put away. This is my teacher edition. That's the planning guide. So pretty much what their book looked like. And concepts, answers, things like that. So very well worth it. Like I said, take a look at Rainbow Resource. Let me pull out this one. Social studies. We have to teach good citizenship, and for record's sake. We don't keep records, but we're required to teach good citizenship. In Texas, it's reading, writing, grammar, I believe. Good citizenship, and one more. And so I know some math lump good citizenship with Bible or history. I went ahead and chose social studies because I love social studies, and this gives them a little more than the what do you call it, of grade 1 social studies is pretty much community laws, things like that. So it's an introduction to social studies that not all of our Galloping the Globe covers. So I have ebook. I also have the textbook, which the textbook is grade 2, but it pretty much is the same thing. The first couple of years in social studies, they're pretty much talking about the same thing. So either we would use the ebook or the textbook, and I have shared this. So all interactive, everything is on here. It's just an ebook, and it was awesome. I can print out the assessment pages because those are in there, the comprehension. There's some hands-on, there's some literature that they reference. Go read about Clara Barton or something like that. So they did learn quite a bit in social studies. So that is that everyday literacy, reading and writing. I did choose, everybody has one. I think I have, yeah, okay. So I have 2 of them to show you. Because we used spelling connections moved a lot faster than everyday literacy. Am I going to purchase again? No. It just moved too slow for them. And I think it's only, and it was intended for a supplement. It moved too slow, and they didn't like that. But what I used it for was handwriting. So, and I don't think either one of them, I found that they wanted copy. They didn't want to write in the book. So I made copies. So I have this grade that's not complete. And also Teach at Daycare has similar spelling in her curriculum, and the 2 little ones were using that. So I imagine they may still prefer that over this, so I don't know. But in any case, I have these, and I think probably the last lesson I printed out was somewhere way back here. I don't know, I think 17, maybe 16, either 16 or 17. I think it was 16. But they have the gist of it, and it's for some children this may be fine for spelling, and like I say, for writing, it's good writing practice, and they're quick. But for them, it was so repetitive, it was so slow, and they just were not, I'm not going to say learning, it was too easy for them. So I just told them, we don't have to do this. Their spelling was more, it did more for them, to where they were actually learning something and not just bored. This was just so busy work. But I did like these pages because of the sentence practice that they got. Whereas in their spelling book, one of the exercises had write a sentence, but they were basically writing words. So I did like this page, but like the draw the line, that was just, they did this pre-K and kinder, so it was really too easy for them. And just the format of book, like I said, it moves really slow, and we are not, you get the answers in the back, don't have to use these anymore. It's just more for a foundation. My kindergartner uses her book. She likes her book, and it's given her some nice practice on her lettering and things like that. And I think there's probably, you get your it's pretty much spelled out. That's what I like about it. Your little lesson plan is right here. Learn about the letter S. You read the story to them. Listen for the S sound. Think about the story. And they're split up by days. Okay. Day 2, day 3 is giving you the skills that they're learning, the concepts, the writing. Day 4, day 5. Okay. So this would be week 5, day 1. So very simple. Again, very simple. She just turned 5. She liked this, you know, and I don't care what type of curriculum she's working in or whatever she's working on. This particular child does 3 pages and that's it. So she's a 3-page kid. So this is really quick for her. So I like the lettering practice that she's learning. She's a lefty. So for her, the more writing we get, the better. I have one other lefty and I didn't teach her to write, so I'm learning with this one like this. It's sideways, but I'm learning to be patient with her because lefties do not write the same way. They don't even make the lines the same way right-handed writers do. But she has come a long way in her writing. So there. But yeah, she'll do, what is this? This is, I think, 4 or 5. Yeah, and like I said, they're really short. This is something that can be done in 15 minutes. So just enough for her to learn the sound part. She already knows. So again, it's really sort of easy, but we were working on sounds. I have to make sure she gets her sounds down, and she was working on reading. So this was perfect for her. Let me get your downloadable. Again, because we have grade 1, I don't need to purchase any more for the little ones. We have 2 grade 1. The other one is already packed up. And this one, because we are using Teach at Daycare curriculum for my 3-year-old, I will not have to use this at all. So we are done with this. Although I like Evermore materials for supplements and complements, we're done with this type of material. It's just basically our textbooks. And like I said, what else did I talk about? Math I did not discuss. Someone requested a walkthrough of math, and math is also an ebook. It's across the room. I will link that video, but I did a very thorough walkthrough in math. We use I can't even think of it. Houghton Mifflin. We have the big textbooks. Oh, let me grab one. All right, I forgot to throw this in. 1st grade. This is their textbook. In the beginning of the year, my curriculum video, in August, I shared my binder, my lesson plan binder. I had gone through and printed out all of the chapters that we needed. And some of them we did not need. That's the beauty of having an ebook. I wanted to condense. But we've been using Houghton Mifflin since the beginning. And you can find these a dime a dozen at thrift stores and things like that. Same thing. The only thing is, this is like this. If you happen to find the ebook, you will get the pages like this. But the homework pages, those are the pages that I use, are in black and white. And for them, they need black and white versus the color because they're doing big kid math. They don't need the colorful stuff. But this is their kindergarten book. Found them at the thrift store for a dime, that they started when they were 4. The twins did. We didn't start at the beginning, so I left the beginning for the 4-year-old. She worked on this. And the other one, because we have 2, my 3-year-old started when she was 2. So that's what this looks like. And we tossed in a lot of stuff from Teach at Daycare because she has excellent curriculum as well. But that's what this looks like. So what's happening is this is becoming my 5-year-old's math book. And we're going to do something else for math for the 2 second graders. So like I said, I will share what's coming up next. But that is what is in here. So we still have some things, and I let her work on it at her leisure. This is too easy for her, so we kind of stopped. She was also doing some Saxon, which was given to us, so she liked that. This is our grade. Let me show you how to do this. Grade 1. You see the 1 dot. The K has. Okay, so that'll tell you. So, in addition to our, because I only have one of these, I have the whole curriculum, the teacher's edition. My 5-year-old will also be using, if I don't, it just depends on who I want to use this on, because I only have one. I may save it for the 3-year-old just so I can not have to print things anymore. But the book is here. So I only have one actual work text. In fact, that's the homework page out of that. So this is for, like I said, this is for the next grade, which we will start. But I think I may just save this one for the little one because it's colorful. And I suspect by next year, because she's already working in here, she'll be ready for this. And because the 4-year-old, or now 5-year-old, already worked in here, she's ready for this. I hope that wasn't confusing. But that's just the difference. You get black and white, you get color, colorful, but it pretty much covers the same thing. And like I said, I'm not going to go too far into these because I already did a full comprehensive review on this. But this is our choice for math. I tend to stick with the same things because they work. They've always worked. And if it's not broken, you know, we don't try to fix them. But if you have any more questions, if I forget to include any links, please feel free to ask me. And as far as high school, all of his textbooks have been already packed up. If you all don't know, I have a quote-unquote special child. He's very bright, very gifted, behavior-wise. His curriculum is there. It's all textbook based. We have Texas geography, we have biology, we have world history, Texas algebra. It's the standard textbooks that they would use in school. He did great with everything. I threw in my own read alouds. You may have saw him work through the narrative life of Frederick Douglass. A lot of our books, Up with Slavery, we have also the DVD. So that is the type of thing he does. Writer's Choice we use for grammar for him. They all worked out beautifully. The tests are in their books, which is why I prefer textbook. I would not say I'm doing school at home. For me and our family, it's easier to use textbook and then throw in whatever else I may need, because we school pretty much every day of the year. Yeah. With the exception of now, and this is the first time this has happened, we tend to go through a lot of things. So that's the reason, the only reason we have a lot, and I wouldn't say we have a lot, but we have a lot of resources because they get bored, and you know, I have to have things on hand. But I pretty much put my spin on everything that we have. So we're not stuck in the books. You know, we use word walls, we use cubes, we use the alphabet letters, things like that, in addition to the books. The books are, you know, pretty much the handwriting part of it. And so, great. But again, I didn't have any problem with him. He loved his biology, which I shared. We had the virtual labs on DVD. It's not really too much to say about a high schooler because, you know, at that point, they kind of get there or they don't. And for him, his stuff was not easy by far. I would not say I just chose the easiest, simplest things. There were no, I switched from, I think in middle school, he did spelling workout. We didn't need that anymore. So he's fine. He's way above in spelling. So little workbooks, no. Every work text he had went along with his actual textbook, whether it was the book or the PDF that I have. And a lot of it was unit study based and things like that. So we had a great year, and I will share with you all what I am doing for next year. I'm going to put this stuff away, and I probably will not film that just yet. And yeah, I know I may have gone a little long, but this was, like I said, it was a lot to share, and I don't like to leave you all hanging on things. But again, I have shared throughout the entire year the kids working on everything that I purchased. I was not dissatisfied. They were not. I think the most exciting thing for them probably is the spelling, the reading, the read alouds that we do. We worked on the Ramona series. I shared that I purchased the books. I didn't haul them in the last haul because I packed them up. But, and so far this is the only one. Actually, I found the box. And so we're reading Ramona the Brave now. So I'm getting ready to pull out Ramona and her mother. This seems like it only takes us a couple days. So this is where they are. But, yeah. This is the extent of what we do. It's just our books for, you know, state standards. And the rest of it is everything else I show you all. Our Bible, I already shared. And if you did not catch the Answers in Genesis review, go check it out. It's amazing. Again, leave me questions if I forget the links. And I will see you all in the new, quote-unquote, new, because we've been using it. I tossed those things in December. So I will get that video up sometime within the next couple of days. Bye.